I promised you when I did my massive crazy Sephora haul, part 1 and 2, that I will be bringing you mini reviews of certain collections, such as the new Prada makeup. I have the Prada foundation, I have all these lipsticks, I have Prada eye quads, I have all the new Prada makeup that I'm going to review for you right here. I'll be giving you natural daylight application demos as well as show you what it looks like here in front of the camera. Are they worth the price? Is it just a money grab? You know, all these luxury fashion houses coming out with makeup? Let's find out. Hey beauties, welcome back to another fabulous luxury makeup review. Here on this channel, I review luxury makeup and other luxury beauty products, and I will be bringing you some fashion content here and there as well. Now, my other channel, Ceylon Cleo, is all about fragrances. It has some beauty content as well, but it's mainly about fragrances. So if you want to smell as good as you look, that's a place for you too. The other channel, Ceylon Cleo. Now, before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It's a new channel, so your help is much appreciated. You know, subscribe to my channel so I can grow it, so I can bring you bigger, better content. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My two channels share the TikTok and Instagram accounts, so you get to see fragrance and makeup content on there. All right, let's jump right in. So I have two eye quads here. So one of them is already on my eyes in this video, in the beginning of this video. Now towards the end of the video, I'm gonna switch it to this other eye quad so you can see what each of them look like in the studio lighting, indoor lighting. But the application demo I will show you for all of these products in natural daylight. But halfway through the video, towards the end, I'm gonna switch my eye look for you so you can see the other eye quad on my eyes in the studio lighting as well. Sound good? All right, so let me grab everything I have here. So I got quite a bit actually from the Sephora sale. I got the Prada new foundation. This is called the Prada Reveal Skin Optimizing Foundation. And I got the shade MW55. Now, originally I bought MW60, I think. No, actually, it was it MN60? Anyway, I got a shade first, and it turned out, you guys, it was totally, yeah, it was neutral. It was 60 neutral. So it turned out to be super, almost pink undertones. It was so weird. I have never seen undertones like neutral foundation to have that sort of undertone before. I mean, if it were cool, then that's a different story. It's supposed to be neutral. So seeing kind of like almost dark pink undertones, it was kind of weird. I wish I had taken a clip of what that looked like so I can show you, but I didn't. I got rid of it. And then I went and grabbed this shade. So this is what the component looks like. It's just a click top, and then it has this like gold sort of square there. And as you can see, it's pretty filthy because I've actually been using this quite a bit in preparation for this video to give you guys my full review. But do you see though, it looks really smooth. That's obviously the foundation I'm wearing in this video. It gives you really good coverage. It covers any flaws, any scarring, any texture, any kind of hyperpigmentation, what have you. Really covers well, gives a really nice almost like smooth, high coverage, full coverage appearance. It is definitely not a dewy foundation, and it's definitely not even satin. I would say it leans very much matte, maybe a slight velvet feeling to it, so it's like matte velvet kind of finish. So let me actually put a little bit on the back of my hand here. I want to show you guys just a little bit of how this looks. So this was the only shade that was anywhere near my skin tone. I would have preferred this to be darker than this, but the next shade darker was that MN60, which had pink undertones. And the next one up was a big bump. It was like super dark. So I had to get this color, which I think really disappears. Look at the back of my hand. It just disappeared into my hand. So I think it is my match. You guys, if my neck looks slightly tanner than my face, it's not because the foundation doesn't match. It's just how the light hits my face, my neck. I have very strong jawline. It shadows this portion of my body really hard. So it's really hard to see. Like I need to be like, you know, like this to see how now it's the same color as my face. Somebody made a comment about how my foundation shade might be too dark, too light. It's not. It's just because of the shadowing of the lights. I always make sure I bring my foundation down to my neck and décolleté so it matches. It's just that the lights hit my face a little better than my neck from here to here. You know, just sliding. Even in natural daylight, my face still shadows my neck quite a bit. Okay, anyways, so this has, like I said, do you see how well it just covered everything right there? It just disappeared into my hand and it matches my skin tone really well. And it's quite flawless, you guys, the coverage, I must say. So the nice thing about this foundation, you guys, is that it has vitamin E and niacinamide, and it also has lactobacillus extract. I don't know what that exactly means, but I know niacinamide and vitamin E, very good for your skin. Now, the effectiveness of skincare ingredients in makeup, I'm not sure. I know that directly applied to your face, niacinamide is very good, and it's like a serum. One of the very good skincare ingredients, like hyaluronic acid is one, niacinamide is one, folic acid is one, and vitamin C, all these good ingredients. This is supposed to be a soft matte foundation. I do agree with it because, like I said, it has a little bit of velvet kind of feeling to it. It's very flawless. The coverage, the finish. It's supposed to also be 24-hour wear, and I will believe that because not that I tested it for 24 hours. Nobody can because we sleep, you know, part of the day. So it's not possible to test it for 24 hours, but I can definitely say that I've worn this all day, and it goes from 8 in the morning until 9 at night flawlessly, and barely any oil peeks through the foundation, and it stays pretty nice and flawless. And yes, it is transfer resistant for the most part. I mean, if you rub it like this, it'll come off, but like, you know, it doesn't transfer easily. Okay, so that is true. This has broad spectrum SPF 17 sunblock in here. There again, I don't know the effectiveness of sunblock in foundations, you guys. There would have to be a scientific study done on it. I'm someone who wears sunscreen anyway underneath of my makeup every day, so it doesn't matter to me whether this has SPF or not. It only has like 17 SPF. It's not that effective anyway. For it to be really effective, it needs to be at least SPF 30 in my opinion. So I mean, it's okay, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. It doesn't mean anything to me either way. So you guys, I actually went ahead and bought a refill too because I like it so much. While the sale was still going on, I wanted to make sure I bought a refill. So here's the refill. So it's refillable. I forgot to tell you that, obviously. So you can actually refill. This is the refill. It comes in a glass jar actually. So you can actually take this out. You see that? And you can refill, like, see, it's like a clear bottle, plastic bottle there, and you can just refill it. It's that easy. So this is the tube that I already had in there. So yeah, it's refillable. So yeah, I got a backup of it essentially so that I don't run out until the next Sephora sale, because I like to wait for the Sephora sale to buy things like this, you guys. So the next items are these eye quads that I bought. So these are the Prada eye quads. I got the entire component and an eyeshadow quad here. So this is Prada Dimensions Double Multi-Effect Eyeshadow. I got it in the shade number 2, Profusion. So this one is the component. I'm sorry, my thumbprints will be all over it. This is the component. It's quite nice. It's gold and silver, as you can see. And here inside, oops, the 2 little brushes fell out. Inside are the eye shadows. So do you see this? Let me swatch these for you. So there are 4 eyeshadows, which is why it's a quad. So here they are swatched. This is how they swatch. They are really, really good quality, highly pigmented. So that's what I'm wearing, obviously, on my eyes right now in the beginning of this video. Let me go ahead and swatch these on the back of my hand as well here for you to get a better look. Just, you know, see arm swatches. You always like to see the hand swatches. There you go. But, you know, like I said, always say, you guys, arm swatches, they don't really do justice to an eye quad. You gotta put it all over your eyes to see what it's like. Do you see that? Silver shade is like really beautiful. This silver shade right here is super pigmented, super strong. And that one is a taupey shade, and that one is gold, and this is of course the black. You can actually do black eyeliner with it, or you can do the outer corners like I did. So I started with this one, you guys. I put this one on my crease, and then I put the black eyeshadow in my outer corner. Then I did the silver all over my eyelid, and then I took the gold and I highlighted my inner corners to give it a nice pop. That is the eye look I got today with this. And of course there was no shadow for the brow bone, so I used my highlighter on my brow bone, which is what I often do if an eye quad doesn't have a brow bone color, you know. So these like actually magnetic closures, I believe they are, and they close really nice. So here is the daylight application demo of this quad. Like I said, there I started with that nice taupe shade right in my crease, and I really like made it kind of be nice and well blended, blown out. And then I took on a dense packing brush that black shadow that you can also do actually eyeliner with. I took that shade and on an angle, on a diagonal kind of angle, put it on my outer corners and just smoked it out a little. And then I picked up that beautiful high shine silver shade on my Sonia G Build a Pro brush, my favorite brush that almost works like a finger to deposit high shine colors, you know, shimmer shades on the center lid. So that's what the brush I used to put that shade all over my eyelid, which really made my eyelids pop. And then I picked up that gold shade with a shader brush and put that in my inner corner. So for the lower lashes, I basically lined my lower lash line with the black one, and then sort of mirrored what I did up here, kind of mirrored. I put the silver right in the center and then the gold in the inner corner. I didn't smoke out the lower lash line because of that ombre effect. I wanted it to keep it the way it is. So yeah, that was the eye look. Then I of course used my Natasha Denona liquid liner, and I did a wing line, and then my eyebrows and everything. On the inner waterline, I actually used one of my MAC taupey, almost silvery kind of dark taupe color on my waterline. It's not that visible here in the video, but you could probably see a little bit. So yeah, that is that eye quad right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and change my eye look to this one right here. This is another eye quad from the Prada collection. This one is 05 Pure is what this is called, and I got this one in a refill. And yes, I forgot to mention that yes, these eye quads are refillable as well. How awesome is it? And so are the lipsticks. These are all refillable, which I think is amazing. So here is what the refill looks like. So it doesn't actually have a cover. I wish it had a cover. It comes in this basically cardboard carton here without any closure. There's no plastic cover to it. I'm sure that's done intentionally so that you don't like just buy the refill, which I did anyway. I'll just keep this component, which they're super expensive. I could just plop it in when I'm using this one and switch this out of the other one when I need the other one. So in the meantime, when I'm not using the refill, I'll keep the refill in my drawer. Okay, so this is 05 Pure. This one has also 4 colors because these are quads. Let me go ahead and swatch these on my other hand, you guys. So yeah, these are super highly pigmented. So this is 05 Pure. This can be a really nice summer eye look with that blue. Kind of screams kind of ocean type of vibes. The rest of the palette is neutral with a pop of color like that. So let me go ahead and change my eye look to this. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm back with my new eye look. I of course put this beautiful blue shade all over my eyelid because I know what you want to see, but it doesn't mean you have to put it on your central lid every time you do a look. No, you can actually use just these 3 neutral shades and do an eye look with that, or you can use this light blue, ocean blue, very, very light blue on your eyelash line, or you can put it in the inner corner as a pop of color. You can do like an eyeliner with it. There's different things you can do with it, but I wanted to do it this way. With both of the quads, I used all 4 shades in the palette. As you guys can see, I started with this one in my crease, in the middle, and then this one here is on the outer corner of my eyes. That's what's blended almost with the blue shade there. And then of course the blue shade on the center lid and the inner lid a little bit. And then this beautiful shimmer champagne shade in the inner corners. And then I actually was able to use it on my brow bone too. Not that I needed to, I could have just used my highlighter, but I just did use it. And then on the bottom lash line, again, I went in with this like right on my lash line, and then I used this shade to blow it out a little bit, and then I used the champagne shade in the inner corner. No, I didn't use the blue shade under or on my lash line. I don't think it'll look nice. Just pop a color on the eyelid in this case is perfect. So what do you guys think? This is basically the eye look I did with this eye palette. Okay, I also, if you notice, changed out my lip color to one of the other Prada Hyper Matte lipstick shades. In the previous one, I was wearing a different Prada Hyper Matte shade than this one. So these Prada colorful eyeshadows are inspired by the iconic prints from the Prada Fashion House Archives. They have 3 sophisticated neutrals with 1 electric color, 1 pop of color. It has, I forget the name of it, I'll put it here. There's an ingredient here that makes the formula creamy and blendy. See, I would attest to that. Yes, it feels a little bit creamy for sure. Not very powdery or anything like that. Even the matte shade, the blue matte shade, isn't dusty and flying all over the place. I noticed, if you can tell, like I just did this eye look, there is absolutely no fallout at all. So I think because of that ingredient, the formula kind of stays together without having like messiness, dustiness, fallout. It's not very powdery like type of formula. So I would agree with that. Okay, you guys, it's really easy to change the refill here. You see this little triangle? You essentially push this triangle and then out pops this. And then you can put your next one right there. Voila! Very, very easy. Easy to just pop it in and out. Okay, now for the lipsticks. I have lipsticks from both the Hyper Matte and Soft Matte formulas, like both formulas here. So let me get started with the Hyper Matte. Now, if you want a more full pigment, velvety matte that is bold, like fully pigmented with that pillow look, type of pillowy lips look, like this I'm wearing. I will tell you which shade I'm wearing. I'm actually wearing Pompeii. Pompeii is number R29. So this is a Hyper Matte formula. So this is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. So this is the carton, and let me show you the lipstick bullet. These are magnetized, which I love, by the way. So the Hyper Matte formula has this gold rectangular band, whereas the Soft Matte has a silver. I will show you that here in a second. So this is the shade that I'm wearing, Pompeii. R29 Pompeii. This is a bit of a, what can I say? It's kind of like a deep red. So let me swatch it right here on my left hand. So that is Pompeii. As you can see, it's full color pigment payoff right there. Has a bit of velvet kind of finish to it, as you can see. And that's what I'm wearing with this look, which I think really complements this look. It doesn't necessarily have to be a nude lip because my eye look is quite colorful, not necessarily, especially because the center lid color is a very light, not turquoise, like really light blue. It's okay to wear a color like this, which actually complements one of the shadows, and it really ties the look together. I think it looks really pretty. The lipstick finish, you guys, I feel like it's very like plump, pillowy, and it feels like it doesn't settle into my lines. In fact, it kind of smoothes out my lines on my lips. I feel like it just make me look like I've got lip injections, but only like tastefully done, right? I don't, by the way. So yeah, like that. Isn't that beautiful? This is a kind of a deeper red, probably yeah, it is the darker shade that I have out of all the shades I bought. Well, actually there's one other that's dark, but different kind of dark. Okay, so here is the daylight application of the shade Pompeii. B15 uniform in the Hyper Matte formula. So there again with the gold band with the Hyper Matte, and there you go with the magnetic cap, very powerful magnetic cap. And this is what uniform looks like. It's kind of a deep, really deep plummy nude. So let me go ahead and swatch it next to Pompeii. Okay, so here is uniform It actually almost look pink in the camera here. And there's Pompeii. There's Uniform. There's Pompeii. So this one's kind of like a deep nude. This one is a deep red. So yeah. And here is the natural daylight application of the shade Uniform. So the next hyper matte shade I have is my favorite. I think this is the most unique shade and I'm very fortunate to have picked this one. It's a little hard to tell what it looks like, especially on the Sephora website, you guys. A tip for you, even if you bought these from Sephora, go to the Prada website and look at the lipstick shades there. I mean, they have actually pictures of them on women. They're much more clear, those pictures, and give you a better idea of the shades on the Prada website. So Arencio was a blind guess and boy did it pay off. There again, hyper matte formula with the magnetic cap. That's really powerful. This shade is so beautiful. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? Gosh, I don't even know how to describe this color. It is not orange really. You might think it is, but it's not. It is not nude. It is not red. I don't know what to call this. It's kind of this really beautiful natural. Yes, it has like a maybe slight orange kind of under hue. It just looks so beautiful on the lips. You will see here in the application clip here very soon in the natural daylight especially. I know it looks a lot more orange here on camera than it actually looks in person. 07 Arencio. I love this shade. It's the most beautiful. It's almost like one of those shades from the 1960s. You know, I love it. I love to wear it with this particular dress of mine that's like tweed yellow with like the 60s hairstyle and my tweed yellow dress with Arencio on and with the beautiful winged eyeliner. Okay, the last shade I have in the hyper matte formula is Fauve. It is B05 Fauve. And Fauve is, of course, as usual, like in any other brand too, tends to be a nudie color. So there you go, that's a nude. So let me swatch it next to Arencio here. You will see it's very much more kind of rosy nude shade. It looks more colorful on my palm than it actually looks, you know, on my face. It's very beautiful. I am very happy that I got Fauve and Arencio especially because I do have a lot of red-ish shades, you know, a lot more, whereas Arencio type shades are very few and far between. Okay, so next I have my first soft matte shade here. This one is R127 Carmino. So this is the soft matte formula bullet. You see the band here is silver as opposed to the hyper matte, which is gold. Do you actually see it? This camera is not showing it. Okay, so this is the hyper matte, which is gold, and here is the soft matte, which has a silver band. So let me show you Carmino here. This is such a pretty, right, kind of warm red. So let me show you the soft mattes on my other hand here because I have the hyper mattes on this hand. This is a bright, beautiful red. Let me swatch it. So I'll tell you the difference between the soft mattes and the hyper mattes here in a second. But do you guys see that? The soft mattes have sort of like, I wouldn't say see-through, but they're like a little bit less pigmented. Yes, they have pigmentation, but they're a little bit more like the finish of one of those kind of like powder lipsticks, you know, like what I'm talking about, like the what do you call that? Charlotte Tilbury has those too, like the blotting or blotted look, you know, like that powdery blotted look that you get. It's kind of like what it is, but it's not quite that either. It's a little bit hard to describe. So let me show you the difference here. Do you see this is hyper matte formula with the several shades, and this is the soft matte. The soft matte looks a little bit more luminous and a little bit less matte and a little less pigmented. It's really hard to describe. On the lips you will notice a bigger difference than on a swatch here. So let me actually show you the daylight application clip of Carmino right here. Now do you see Carmino, how it goes on the lips? I had to do several swipes to get a little bit more pigment, which you shouldn't do because you're supposed to actually have that sort of like not as pigmented, almost like powder blotted kind of look. And the next one is actually refill. So like I told you, they have refills. So I got a refill just to show you. So I will be refilling Carmino here with this. Let me get the lipstick. So you just simply pull it out and then you take the clip off of this. This is the next shade. I'll tell you what shade this is here in a second. And you put this side first until it clicks. There you go. That's how you change the lipstick. Now this shade is called Flamingo. This is such a pretty, slight powdery looking, beautiful, luminous, orangey flamingo color. Really, flamingo is actually really good. Very luminous, kind of pinkish, orangish, beautiful, almost like a flamingo. You know what? It's not showing this color. It's actually showing you flat out orange here in the camera. This is not what flamingo looks like in natural daylight. I'm going to go ahead and put a clip of all these lipstick shades swatched in the natural daylight so you can actually see better the flamingo color. This is horrible. This is not showing this color at all. This is such a very unique. It is actually quite lovely, very, very beautiful, sort of pinkish, almost orangey flamingo color. Like the flamingo colors on the feathers, that pinkish orange, that's kind of what it looks like. Very luminous too, actually, very luminous. Okay, here's flamingo application in natural daylight. As you can see, it looks quite lovely, very different in the natural daylight. Very, very much that flamingo pinkish orange luminous shade. This is perfect for summer, you guys. Spring, summer, but especially summer. I've got so many plans for this beautiful flamingo color in the summertime. And of course, Carmino, perfect, beautiful springtime red as well. Goes from day to night, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm looking at them here on my hands. The hyper matte is a little bit more matte than the soft matte. Soft matte is almost kind of like, has a satin kind of finish. You can actually see a little bit of creaminess in it. It's almost like a velvet leaning cream, okay, or satin type of finish, instead of this one, which is more of a velvet matte, very matte, so, but not too matte. It's like a velvety matte, whereas this one is velvety satin, you know, more like a velvety cream almost, because you can actually see the shine in it a little bit. Do you see that? Whereas you don't see no shine in these. Do you see? They're very matte. So yeah, that's the difference. They're more of a satin finish essentially, but they also have that almost kind of like blotted kind of lipstick finish. Here is a clip of the swatches, my hand swatches in natural daylight of both the hyper matte and soft matte lipsticks, you guys. Okay, you guys, so that is everything Prada Beauty that I have. I'm sure Prada Beauty will be coming out with eyeliners, lip liners, blushes, I bet you, here in the near future. But this is what's out right now. What's my verdict? Okay, foundation, love it, pretty flawless, long wear, very much like stay all day kind of foundation. It kind of reminds me of All Nighter or something. What was that foundation that was like viral back then, like 10 years ago, 7 years ago, I can't remember. But only this one actually it looks better. The finish is better. It's beautiful and soft, matte, and it lasts even better. And it doesn't look cakey at all, whereas that all-nighter, whatever that foundation was from Urban Decay, could really look cakey sometimes. One thing I forgot to mention, when you first buy this foundation, now that smell is not there. When you first buy it and you wear it for the first like 3 times, it has a bit of a, not a chemical smell, but like a alcohol kind of, I don't know, there's no alcohol in this foundation, but there's like a chemically scent when you use it for like the first 3 times, 3-4 times, and then it goes away. I hardly smell it anymore. It's hardly there anymore. The first time I was putting it on, it was like really strong, but it fades over time, so don't worry. If you don't like that smell, it'll go away after like 3-4 uses of the foundation. Really, really like it. The only complaint I have is the difficulty of finding the right shade, because this brand, this foundation brand, runs very cool toned. Even when they say warm, like MW means like warm, even when they say warm, this is supposed to be a warm shade. Does it look that warm to you? Not really. Even when it say warm, it actually runs neutral. And the neutral runs cool. I told you, I have like olive almost kind of, and a lot of the times neutral foundation shades work on me, or sometimes olive undertones work on me, depending on the brand. So I always tend to get neutral, like even with it's like 400s neutral that I get. Sometimes I get warm. Some brands, even they say warm, it's not that warm. But this is the first brand that I came across, like when it comes to foundations, they say warm and it's actually almost neutral. So I like to buy neutral shades, because warm, when most of the foundations in most brands, when they say warm, it's like yellow. Yeah, yellow. I hate that. I'm not that yellow in the undertone. So I don't like it. I don't think anybody's that yellow, undertone. So I really don't like buying warm undertones in most foundation shades. This one runs very neutral to cool. So if you are someone who's neutral, get warm. If you are really, really warm, which I don't think anybody's that yellow undertone of undertones, you're a little bit out of luck. You won't find true yellow undertones in this line of foundations, but it works out for me because this is exactly what I want. I want neutral. But when I bought neutral, it was very cool, like almost pink, like dark pink undertones, which no, that's not neutral, that's cool. But anyway, it had almost like an ashy kind of undertone. But anyways, yeah, this is way better. And I tried to go up in the shade to 60, but then that was neutral. They don't have like a 60 warm and a 60 cool. They only have like, that's the other thing. I really wish they made like 3 for every number, you know what I mean? Like 60 warm, 60 neutral, and 60 cool would have been nice. But what you get is MW, which is W's warm, 55 is warm, but the next one up is 60 neutral. And then when I went a shade up, it was super, like very dark. It really was looking bad. So yeah, I'm stuck with 55, which I think is a really good match for me. Yeah, so that's the verdict on the foundation. Super long wearing, super soft, matte, don't budge, it doesn't itch, it doesn't settle into fine lines, it doesn't make you look older. It just is very beautiful, like second skin, like soft matte finish, not too drying. It's not like sucking the life out of your skin and make you look like dry like cracker. No, not that type of soft matte. Also not dewy either at all. It's kind of like a, like a velvet type of finish. That's, satin type of finish, I would say. Yeah, the eyeshadow quads, these are very high quality. I told you, they're very highly pigmented, and I love how colorful these are, especially for summer, you guys. I mean, these scream summer to me. I don't know about you, don't you think they scream summer? I mean, I love the fact that they put 3 neutrals and a 1 pop of color. Very, very fun type of looks. Are these everyday looks? No, they're not. you won't be getting everyday looks out of these palettes. It will be summer special occasion, like spring summer special occasion type of eye quads. And yes, they feel really creamy. I don't know if you guys can tell, even like the matte shades are super creamy looking because of that one ingredient I told you about. It's not dusty, it doesn't kick up dust at all when you put the brush in, even like the matte shades, especially these type of super powdery, like light pastel matte shades tend to like kick up so much dust. Not this, because of that specific ingredient that makes them actually kind of creamy. So like they actually have a creamy texture to them, kind of like the Tom Ford almost creme formula, but not that creamy. Doesn't matter what finish there. It could be, you know, the shimmer, it could be satin, it could be matte. They all feel slightly creamy. So yeah, I really think they're very, very high quality, worth the money, yes, I would say, but it depends on your budget, you guys, what you consider to be worth the money. If you think it's worth the money to get this type of colorful quad for spring summer that doesn't kick up dust, doesn't have fallout, and it's very creamy, you know, no matter what the finish is, then yeah, it's, you know, and you consider that worth the money, then yeah, it is worth the money. They are quite expensive. I will list and link all of these down in the description box. When you click on the link, you will see the prices and everything. I don't need to be mentioning all that. They are pricey. Let me just put it that way. Okay, so the lipsticks, I love them. I mean, that's the short verdict, you guys. They're beautiful. Very expensive, but look at how luxurious this is. This almost reminds me of the Chanel, the $250 lipsticks, which I own a lot of them. By the way, with the gardenia oil, kind of like that type of packaging, only not glass look, you know, but very expensive, very like nice magnetic closure, which I really love. Yeah, the hyper mattes are very much matte finish, but not drying at all. Fills in lips, fills in lines on the lips almost, I feel like, and kind of like irons them out, almost like kind of like softens them almost, and like really give you that pouty look. I have Pompeii on my lips right now with this eye look, with the number 5 quad that I'm wearing, and previously at the beginning of this video I was wearing the other quad, this one right here, with the Arencio, which is my favorite shade, I told you. Okay, so like I said, these are the hyper mattes with the gold band, and these are the soft mattes with the silver band. This is of course what the refills look like. I just got a refill just to show you guys. If you feel like not spending this much money because refills are cheaper, you can just get one bullet, right, and then get all the other colors in a refill and just pop them in. It's the same concept as the Chanel 31 La Rouge $250 lipsticks, right? Same thing, they were refillable as well. So if you feel like it's a waste of money to buy a bullet for each shade, then get one bullet and buy the refills, and the refills do come with a cap so they won't go bad or anything, so you can just switch them out. Okay, I just happened to get a few bullets, you know, and I'm definitely gonna get more shades from the next Sephora VIP sale. Obviously I love them, they are beautiful, very comfortable, super plump looking, pillow looking. I don't even feel like I'm wearing makeup. Honestly, you guys, any of this makeup, as full glam it is, I'm not feeling it on my face. Usually a lot of the foundations tend to itch, like at least over time during the day, as time progresses in the day. Not this one. And just like Chanel doesn't itch either. And also, like, I'm not feeling it like heavily on my face at all. I actually changed the blush shades for each of the eye quads eye look, obviously, too. This is a different blush shade from what I was wearing in the beginning of this video. So I hope you found it to be helpful to show both of the looks indoors here in front of you, in front of the camera. Beginning of the video, different eye look. End of the video, different eye look. That's how I roll. And of course, the natural daylight application which is super important for you to get a realistic idea of what they look like. Okay, you guys, so that is my verdict on this beautiful Prada makeup collection. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Hopefully they keep it up with whatever the makeup releases they come up with next. Hope the quality keeps going and the prices stay here without going up. Of course, all these products will be linked down in the description box. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it to be helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, which helps my engagement, and subscribe to my channel so I can grow this community, and click the notification bell so you will never miss any of my videos. It'll be notifying you, and it's important to tell YouTube you want to see my videos. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well, which I share with my other channel, Ceylon Cleo. By the way, subscribe to that as well. I just uploaded a video reviewing the entire Charlotte Tilbury's new emotion boosting perfume collection. So if you didn't see that on my other channel, go check it out. I will link it down in the description box on my perfume channel, Ceylon Cleo. Head on over there, watch that video and other videos, and subscribe to that as well and show me some support. I will see you guys in my next video.